heart of Nigeria, a melody rose from the ashes of war. The 1970s, a time of rebuilding, saw the birth of a band unlike any other band, the Oriental Brothers. These weren't your average musicians, they were brothers in music, bound by a love for Igbo highlife, a sound that blended traditional rhythms, Congolese guitar influences, and Western influences. Comprising of the charismatic Dr. Sir Warrior with his booming vocals and the innovative Satch, a maestro on the guitar. They were joined by a band of talented men, Kabaka on the rhythm guitar and Aquila on the congas, while Ichita was on the drums. Their sound was electrifying, songs with powerful lyrics, laced with proverbs and tributes, resonated with a nation yearning for hope. Dance floors erupted with the infectious energy of their music. They weren't just a band, they were a movement, the Oriental Brothers Band of Nigeria. Their music traveled far beyond Nigeria. Colombia embraced them as their own, their highlife sound morphing into the beloved champeta genre in Colombia. The Oriental Brothers became legends, their music a bridge between different cultures. Let's sit back and relax and enjoy the story of the Oriental Brothers. For the purposes of this video, we'll stick with the Oriental Brothers of Nigeria as the generic name for the various sub-bands that emerged from this fantastic group. While we have painted a celebratory picture of the successes of the Oriental Brothers, their story wasn't without its drama. We'll deep dive into the intrigues, breakups, and internal wranglings that plagued the group and often man part of or the whole of the members.
Ferdinand than Satch, Opara, the founder, composer, arranger of Oriental Brothers International, the CEO of Oriental Brothers International.
There you go. Dan Satch takes a claim as the founder and CEO of Oriental Brothers International Band of Nigeria. He might be right because that's the name of his own splinter band from the original Oriental Brothers Band of Nigeria. But the discography of the band indicates that Kabaka Opara was designated as the leader of the Oriental Brothers Band of Nigeria in his early years. Or can we say that Kabaka was designated the leader of the group in the early days for the first one or two albums because of his dexterity on the guitar? Because Dan Satch has, in different occasions and in different interviews, confirmed and asserted that he puts together all the boys together to form this band, and nobody has ever come out to dispute these facts. The Oriental Brothers released their first two albums in 1975 under the Aphrodisia Decca record labels. The albums were self-titled and they were credited as being led by Godwin Kabaka Opara, the rhythm guitarist. And by this time, the group has been joined by Alloy Anyanwu and Charles Mombunda. In 1976, the group released two further albums for Decca and Aphrodisia. The third album was equally titled Oriental Brothers International Band, while the second album of 1976 was titled Nedinobi. All these albums were credited to Godwin Kabaka Opara as being the leader and the writer of the band. In 1977, the Oriental Brothers released another album still on Aphrodisia label, but this time around, Godwin Kabaka Opara was no longer available. He has left to form a new band called Kabaka International Guitar Band. So this new album by the Oriental Brothers was inscribed as led by Dan Satch Opara. A lot of people have questioned Kabaka's move away from the band to start another band, a competing band. But in recent years, Kabaka has come out to say that he has been a master guitarist that had a need to expand his creativity, and then he had to go and form another band, but it didn't stop him from being a member of the Oriental Brothers Band. He had reasons to record with Kabaka International Guitar Band and also had reason to continue to record with the Oriental Brothers International Band. In 1978, Satch with Sir Warrior, the charismatic Sir Warrior, released another album for Aphrodisia titled Nwanne Awenyi. But while they were at it, Aquila and Ichita, the drummer, had moved on to form another band called the Great Oriental Brothers International Band of Nigeria. They equally went on to release an album under the EMI label in Nigeria. Still in 1978, Alloy Anyanwu has also left the band to form his own band, which he called the States Brothers International Band. In the meantime, Satch and Sir Warrior continued to run things from the original setup until 1980, when Sir Warrior decided to leave Satch and set up his own team, which he called Sir Warrior and his Oriental Brothers International Band Original. This new franchise by Sir Warrior made it a total of 5 different groupings under the Oriental Brothers Mega Band. And it is important to note that Sir Warrior kind of became the face of the Oriental Brothers setup, as everybody came to know him and came to identify with him as the Oriental Brothers because of his charismatic nature and vocal prowess. Sir Warrior has gone on to release more than 15 albums, still under the Aphrodisia label, the original recording company of the Total Oriental Brothers groupings. On the whole, Sir Warrior, Dr. Sir Warrior, whose real name is Chirtogonus Sir Warrior Obinna, became the best known face of the Oriental Brothers brand, making it possible for people to assume him as the owner or the founder of the original franchise, which is actually not the case. But he was so popular across the country and with the several releases he made, making him to be in the forefront and sparking the much debate that has been on for years now, who was the real founder and owner of the brand Oriental Brothers International Band of Nigeria. Despite the infighting, the intrigues, the separation, the issues with the record label, one thing that is important to note is that the group had reasons to come back together, to record together as a group that they used to be. They did this in 1987 and in 1996 before Sir Warrior passed on in 1999. Again in 2019, the group, including Kabaka, performed together at an occasion, sparking the need for the group to come together as they used to be before now. It's important to note that we've started documenting the albums that gave Oriental Brothers popularity from the 1975 release under the Aphrodisia label. However, the group had earlier recorded and released their first album in 1973, titled Here Chenyere, which did not give them so much impact on the Nigerian music scene or in the high life scene. But the group has gone on to build on its reputation and became popular with the release of the 1975 album titled Oriental Brothers International Band. The drummer Ichita passed on in the early 80s. Remember, he went to form the Great Oriental Brothers International Band with the conga player Aquila. On his death, Aquila moved back first to Sir Warrior and later to Satch, and has become a part of the Satch project till date. In 2022, the Oriental Brothers International Band of Nigeria released a new record, Okogwo Diochi. This is after more than 20 years of not recording. This new band, led by Satch, also includes the conga man Aquila. The album is under the label Palenque Records of Colombia. Remember, Palenque Records belongs to Lucas Stewart, the Colombian that has told the world how popular this band has been in his home country, Colombia, over the years. And this new release made such impact and rekindled the love that the fans of this band have for them, the Oriental Brothers International Band of Nigeria, the Owerri based band in Imo State, Nigeria. In September of 2023, it was the turn of the great Kabaka to release his own album, which he called The Return of Kabaka. This album went on to stream over 1 million copies worldwide, cementing his place as one of the greats of highlife music. He was a great guitarist reckoned with by all and sundry across Africa as one of the greatest rhythm guitarists in the highlife genre. Sadly, on March 2024, precisely on March the 21st, the passing of Godwin Kabaka Opara, the great highlife rhythm guitarist, was announced, and it came with a great shock to his fans across the world. And that brought the close to a fantastic musician, fantastic highlife guitarist who had gained recognition across the world and whose music was very contagious and delighted many of his admirers. His musical career encompassed different decades, multiple genres, and bands. The story of the Oriental Brothers International Band of Nigeria has been that of ups and downs, despair, legal tussle, internal wranglings that has left the band sometimes bereft of its members. We keep wondering what could have been if this great unit had stayed on as a unit together over the decades, what they could have produced as a unit. However, we are still happy that in combination, even with the split, the group came up with over 39 recorded releases in terms of albums and also singles and other compilations, which tends to now bring to the fore the dexterity that these members had, even though they had to go their separate ways at times. We are certainly happy at their contribution to Nigerian music, to highlife music, and to world music in general. And it's a pleasure to have presented it from Music in My Ears. So if you love what we are doing, we just ask you to always listen to us, subscribe to this channel, and like and comment so that we'll make improvements as we go along on our journey to bring you the Nigerian music history as it happened in the past. Thank you for staying with us in this episode. Until next one, stay tuned. Catch you. Peace.